we have started having the conversation about the 1 seed for the Lions in the NFC. Now that you tell me, is that a conversation worth having at this point?
Well, you know why it is, and why not? I mean, it doesn't do any harm, I don't think. Is their schedule the rest of the way? They are 5-1. They have the weakest schedule in the league, I think, coming up, and they got 4 more games against the Vikings and the Bears, and throw in another game with the Packers. That's 5 more games against the Big Ten West for the Lions. And I mean,
that's a good one.
How can you not start thinking the 1 seed? I mean, I still think the 49ers and Eagles, and they'll get things, squared away, and watch out for the Cowboys. But absolutely, I don't know. Do they have betting favorites right now on number 1 seeds in either conference? I don't know if they do that, but if they do, I think they'd be like the second best betting favorite. I think people would still go with the 49ers or Eagles, but yeah, partly based on the schedule and of course based on the way they're playing, especially the way Goff is playing. Yes, let's have that conversation.
Okay, so the second conversation that you can have is not just, is this a team that could have home field advantage throughout the playoffs? Is Goff, and maybe this is what it takes to get there, is he having an MVP season?
He is so far. Again, here's the caution. You know me, Mr. Cautious. I believe we had this conversation probably 2 or 3 different times when Stafford was here. When the Lions, I think in 2011, when they started 5-1, and there was another. And I remember even thinking, like, at the midway point, is Matthew Stafford, in the NFL MVP conversation? And he sort of was, and then he would always hurt his hand or his finger or whatever and fall apart as the Lions would. But as of right now, absolutely he is. I mean, you got 2 guys in Miami, Tua and Tyreek Hill, the receiver, although receivers don't ever win it. But all the other great, iconic quarterbacks are been okay. Mahomes and Josh Allen and guys like that. Tua obviously has been otherworldly. So I'm putting him in the conversation, although it will become the same thing that Michigan faces. Okay, weak schedule. Okay, that doesn't really pan out in the NFL, but we'll see. And, it's a little bit of a system. They have a great offensive line. They have an improved running game. Does Amon-Ra St. Brown replace Calvin Johnson in the conversation when you have such a great, dependable receiver that helps them? That'll come into it, but Jared Goff is the one who's tying it all together. And absolutely, I think right now he's a top 4 MVP candidate.
And last week, they don't have a run game, and on the road helps salt it away. It sounds like Montgomery going to be out for a bit. He may have to do that again this week against an even better team in Baltimore. Like, this is a big swing game for both conversations, 1 seed and MVP.
Oh, absolutely. And being there in Tampa, and it was interesting listening to, like, Tampa people. And, like, after the game, I heard writers and fans, talking. And they were absolutely amazed and so annoyed by what Goff did. Like, every third down, and I heard one of the writers saying, they were getting to him with the blitz. Why did they stop blitzing him? And the other one said, well, because he kept beating it. And he really did. I mean, Tampa's defense is good. And Todd Bowles can unleash a hell of a blitz package, too. And he just stood in there, got hit a few times, fired a few absolute lasers in traffic, threw it up for Jameson, who caught it. That was amazing. Now, can he do that in Baltimore, where I don't think there will be the same amount of Lions fans there as there was in Tampa, which was amazing. If he does it in Baltimore, I think we've said this if they win this one, okay, now everyone's going to notice and, tout the Lions for, I don't know, Super Bowl, whatever. I think they're already there. But if they do it in Baltimore against the Ravens, and you know what the Ravens did too, that sort of showed their hand, what they thought of the Lions? They came back from London, and you have your option that you can take your bye week after your trip to London. And when the schedule came out, when they were doing it, the Ravens said, no, we're not going to take our bye week. Now, They didn't know what the Lions were, or even if the Lions would be on that schedule. But a little bit of an advantage. They were just in London last week. I don't know.